How you doing, guys? Welcome back. It's LSP. It's currently the 4th of June 2021. Going to be a short video. Just going to go over the dollar index. I won't go into the reasoning why all of this is going to affect the markets and the cryptocurrencies and this and that and the other. But suffice us to say is this. Let's keep it really simple. If the dollar goes down, right, and continues to get weaker and weaker and weaker, I believe that the cryptocurrency market, or at least certain aspects of it, certain areas of the crypto space, will benefit from this. Okay, Bitcoin being one, obviously, because it's classed as a store of value. A lot of people are putting their money into Bitcoin as a safe haven, as a hedge against the devaluing of the dollar. There are projects like Swissborg, that people are putting their money into, as a safe haven because they believe it's going to, besides the fact that they believe it's going to increase in value over time, there's innovation, democratizing wealth, all of these ideas that Swissborg brings to the marketplace. And there's lots of other projects and ideas and innovations that are coming to the market through the crypto space and through blockchain. Okay, so the devaluing of the dollar or the weakening of the dollar is going to have an effect on global economies. It has to, because it's the world reserve currency. Okay, we already know that the US is printing shit tons of money, right? And to be fair, so is the UK. And Europe is doing the same. This is kind of it's almost like a unified global effort to try and compete to see who can print the most amount of money in the shortest period of time. It's absolute insanity, actually. So we know inflation is getting worse. This is something that we see across the board. I'm in construction work at the minute. The cost of materials has gone through the roof. Lots of people can confirm this who are also either doing DIY at home or on big projects or even small projects. We're all seeing the same thing globally. This is not just here. I know somebody in Australia who does construction. He's experiencing the same thing over there, just as I'm experiencing the same thing here in the UK, just as I know some people in the US are experiencing the same things over there, and so on and so on. So we know inflation is a problem, okay, and it's continuing to increase. The pace at which it increases will dictate whether or not we go into hyperinflation, which is obviously a big deal. I mean, hyperinflation is insane. That's not a joke. You're talking about barrels of money that are effectively worthless. Okay, so when we look at the dollar index on the monthly chart, and we have to look at the monthly chart to kind of get a general idea of what the rest of this year could potentially bring, right? You guys know, obviously, I look at liquidity. I look at I look at charts the way that I look at charts, and you guys have seen many examples of this. And the dollar index is no different. I don't look at the news and then try to pair what I'm seeing on the chart. I look at the chart and I say, this is the monthly chart of the dollar index. So what is that telling me? Okay, we had a really nice run here, but this nice run, okay, back in sort of 2014 all the way through to around about 2015, left a lot of crap behind. Yeah, a lot of imbalances, a lot of inefficiencies. You can see it all here. Okay, this is just one solid run that goes all the way up. We have gaps, okay, on the chart, which we can clearly see. We have price reaching for liquidity quite quickly, and all of this is an imbalance. It just leaves imbalances behind. In terms of liquidity, the closest level of liquidity that would make any sense for the dollar to go to, is down here. All right, let me just move this that way. We've already had one attempt to reach the previous 2016-2017 high, okay, which it came quite close to. It rejected, and then it reversed quite aggressively, consolidated for a little bit, and now we're currently sitting just above this low and this low. This, in my opinion, is going to get taken. The question is, if the dollar starts to decrease or weaken, okay, this is the first area it's going to go for, right? So it may start to accelerate into this level, and if it accelerates into this level, I would expect a snapback. So if price goes down, it's going to tag this a little bit and then snap back, maybe stabilize. But unless the dollar gets back above, and we'll do it this way, unless the dollar gets back above this level, up here, and we're going to change the color to this, or of this to like yellow, then we are going lower effectively. Yeah, this is the price would have to be back above sort of $95. To continue going higher, or at least stabilize in this area. That simply does not look like it's the case, and I've confirmed this on the weekly, I've confirmed it on the daily, the 4-hour, the hourly. Everything is showing me that the dollar is going to continue going lower and lower and lower. Okay, and in my opinion, around the 80s to 82, 83, this is where price is going to end up. Yeah, it may take some time. Obviously, we're dealing with the monthly chart, talking maybe a full year for all of this to unfold. And if that's the case, obviously, then it seems a bit grim, but things will progressively get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse throughout the year. Which, let's be frank, I mean, it's kind of obvious that that's going to be the case. To be fair, anyway, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But with that said, I would expect a little bit of a snapback if it gets below this, and then if it starts to accelerate back into this level and starts to run lower, there's not really much to stop it on the way down. Yeah, I'm not going to say that it's just going to tank and just sell off completely. That's not what I'm saying, but there's a lot of confirmation that I'm seeing on all time frames with all flows, looking at the COT data as well, for commercials and non-commercials. It's all showing me that price wants to continue going lower and continue to weaken on the US dollar, and this is going to have an impact on everything globally. It will have an impact on the cryptocurrency market, which I believe is going to be a positive impact as long as you know where your money, as long as you are in the right spaces, in the crypto space. So keep an eye on the dollar index. If I see anything, or I start to see the acceleration, I'll start to see that price, is going to start running lower. I'll make another video and I'll kind of post whatever I can, post at the time. But just keep an eye on the dollar index, and if you start to see an increase, we'll do a little test. If you start to see an increase, in consumables, and the price of gas, the price of materials, the price of food, the price of things, just put a little comment in the comment section below, and just tell me what's kind of going off in your neck of the woods, your area, your country, because I do get comments from different people around the world. So I'm quite interested to know what people's opinions are, and what the facts are in each country with the materials, and with the food and with the gas prices or petrol prices and so on, so we can kind of get a feel, what everybody's kind of thinking. But this is where I'm expecting price to go through all of this, and I think before the end of the year, the US dollar would have had a run into this space at some point within this year. That's what I believe. All right, so I'm going to leave it at that, guys. I will keep an eye on the dollar index and keep you guys updated. And that's it. With all that said, I hope everyone's having an awesome day, and I will catch up with you guys very, very soon. Take care.